Alright, so we're back. The major problem that I had was my phone died. It got wet, I jumped in a pool and forgot my phone was on me. Now this S20 Plus was meant to be waterproof, but because it's so old, yep, she's no longer waterproof and I can't turn it on. So I got myself a new phone and hopefully, yeah, can continue from that. Unfortunately, all the footage that I had for the 9th discharge cycle was on here and I don't think I'll be able to recover that. So I'm just making this video and starting pretty much all over again. So let me catch you up to speed. What happened is I charged these batteries 1, 2 and 3 in series. And as 1 and 3 charged up to 14 point something volts, I disconnected them and then I did a discharge on them. And so that's what I've been doing. I did do number 1. I got what was it, 1.162 amp hours out of it, and that was over various different types of discharges. And now I am up to the second battery, or battery 3, as battery 2 is still charging, and I also have battery 1 back on to charge. This is Thursday, and we are at 4 o'clock. This battery is going and having a rest right now. Now I did do a recording of the charging and discharging, and as you can see, we started with a discharge from fully charged here, went for many hours, hit our bottom, did a quick recharge again. This was on 100 milliamps, then gave it a rest for about an hour, then started discharging at 50 milliamps, gave the rest, did another 50 milliamps, and now it's resting again. The interesting part being that the battery really does like to recover all the way past 12 point something volts. And in this case, you can see it's 12.5, and it just keeps bouncing back to that voltage. And so if we hit on at 50 milliamps, you can just keep taking more power off it, and it would seem, as I have seen before, that you can the battery seems to recharge itself slightly over time. Now, to prove this, I would have to leave this battery out for a day, do a discharge, compare it, etc., etc. I won't do this just right now because I'm on the the 9th charge cycle. So I want to finish the charge cycle tests before I go into exploring the other phenomenon that happens with these batteries. But just to show battery 3 right now and what it's doing, as you can see, it's on a 50 milliamp discharge. It is going down quite quickly, but also not that quickly compared to how it went last time. I do like how this phone gets rid of that anti-flicker. That's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, as you can see there. Now it is funny how a normal discharge after a plateau goes like this, goes through a recovery, and then you can see here when the 50 milliamp charge happened, it actually started acting as if it's trying to plateau, and then it couldn't, and then off it goes. Now that's basically based on how these are charged. So the post-charging on the batteries tends to have this sort of effect. They like to bounce back all the way to a high voltage, which just causes the chemistry to recharge itself over time. I don't know how, why, I'm not a chemist, so I would love to cut these batteries up and do some explorations, but obviously I don't have that ability, so I just look at the effects. In this case, these batteries, yeah, when they get discharged, you can leave them for hours, days, and they'll recharge themselves slowly, especially if they're left close to the charging field that they were at, and then you can just keep pulling power off of them. Obviously in this case we are discharging them over and over again, without leaving too much time in between. But yeah, this effect, it can sort of be slightly be seen there. So yeah, that's where I am up to with this discharge cycle. I think I will allow this to go down to, I think I might make this the last one, or I might do another one. I'm not too sure as to what these batteries are sitting on right now. I think I said that it was Thursday, so it's on the 5th day, so we are at 13.3 on that one. This one was sitting like pretty high, 13 as well from memory. Yeah, 13.1. So she's slowly charging up there. So this one seems to have either more capacity in it, or it's shorting out quite a bit. I would assume more capacity, given that we got about 6 amp hours total from the whole lot. So I would assume that this one can hold up to about 4 or more, depending on, yeah. But we'll see. Once I do a single discharge on battery 2, we'll see how much it actually holds. But yeah, alright. I'll keep going, and maybe I can recover the videos out of this. Maybe not, and this will have to do. Alright, so we eked out some more power out of this, but what I found interesting was that last discharge, we can see that we left it on to recover for a bit longer than the one previous to that. Look how much extra we managed to get out of it, just with a little bit of a span. So what I'm thinking is I might leave it just to sit for a couple of hours. I don't have too long because it's already 18:28, and then see if that will happen again, see if I can get a bit more out of it. Now right now it's sitting at 12.589, and so that will probably recover a little bit more. But yeah, you can see these discharges have been happening over 14 hours. So we're not getting much, but the fact that it is recovering on its own is interesting. Alright, so we've waited a few hours. If I zoom in here, you can see on the graph how the battery's been recovering. It's currently at 12.7. We get about 12.717 here. So what I will do is now I'll put it back onto 50 milliamp cycle and see how much more we can get out of her. Now I'm quite interested to see if, when you look at these, see how that discharge was pretty low, but then after a bit of a recovery, we had this extra energy here, and so now we've got this big recovery here, relatively speaking, of course. And so I wonder if it will be bigger than these. It might be as big as this one, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So again, that's where we started off from when it was fully charged. Went down, we stopped there after a bunch of hours. We did a quick one again, and this was on 100 milliamps. Then we switched to 50 milliamps for this discharge here, and then we've continued with 50 milliamps across the board here. So yeah. Alright, so we got some more milliamps, which is quite interesting. And we're recovered straight to 12.5. It just won't go down. But what's even more interesting is that discharge there is actually bigger than that discharge there and all those. So about 2 hours, yep, about 2 hours of recovery time gave us way more back than this, and probably these two combined actually. So yeah, that is very interesting. I am going to leave it overnight and I'm going to see what happens. What I might do is I will do a quick save of this. That's the wrong naming scheme, but okay, so let's save it as 4th discharge. Let's try TH. Alright, and then what I'll do is I'll clear clear the data. No, that's not it. Oh no, damn it, yeah, that just cleared the milliamps on that. Oh, I've got it recorded, so I'll get it off the camera. And this is why we record things, because otherwise where is it set? Where the hell did I see? Oh, that's right, remove curves. A weird naming scheme. Alright, there you go. Alright, so that started the monitoring process. I'll leave this on. It will monitor the voltage. I'm assuming it will go back to about 12.7, 12.8, which is again a very high voltage to go in, and as you can see, it's not plugged into anything, it's not being charged. It will literally be just plugged into this while it monitors it, and that's it. So yeah. Alright, so we got 12.76 recovery. It is 7:38 in the morning. Here we have our graph that has been on. Sorry about the light. Because it's morning, there's a lot of sun in my window. So as you can see, so what I will do is I will do a 50 milliamp test again and see how much this battery has actually recovered, if any. That's going to start going down, and then yesterday I managed to write down what we got up to. So it was 1322. So we'll add what we get here to that, and we'll see how much we've recovered. Not sure if this is going to work or if it's going to do anything, but yeah, it's an interesting experiment. We'll see how long the recovery goes for. Alright, so we managed to get a whopping 26 milliamps. Look at that. 32 minutes. But so that's the discharge curve. It's quite interesting. A bit of a bump there, but yeah. So I'm going to leave it for maybe an hour or so, and I'm going to reduce the discharge to say 10 milliamps. Now that's a couple of LEDs, not much in the grand scheme of things, but want to see if it's capable of hitting a plateau where it will just keep going, and how long it will go for. So 26 plus 13.2, sorry, 1.322 is like 1348. So not much out of the second one, although a bit more than the first one. I just checked these two. This one's still on 13.2, and this one, oh no, that one's there, and this one's on 13.6. So this one's getting charged. I reckon by Sunday, which is the entire charge cycle for these, this one will be charged again. So we'll hopefully see if that one has any sort of improvement on it there, on a smaller scale. And then I'm hoping to put this one back on today and give it a couple of days and see how much it gets charged as well. So yeah. Alright, so I started a 10 milliamp discharge. Might have been a mistake because this is going to take a long time. So it seems to have hit a plateau. As you can see there, at about 12.3, you can see it's drawing about 10 milliamps. And yeah, that's going to take a long time, but hopefully maybe this will discharge it so that it no longer sits at such a high voltage. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Alright, so I think 10 milliamps is going to take way too long, because as you can see, it's hit an equilibrium and it's just not going down. So what I might do is I will increase it to 20 milliamps and see how that goes. Hopefully that will discharge it a bit quicker. And there it goes. So yeah. Alright, so in almost 11 hours we managed to get 200 milliamps. It's fantastic. And that was our curve. So here we had 10 milliamps and we switched it to 20. It seemed okay with 10. 20 it really couldn't handle. After a couple of hours it went bye-bye. But it still recovered to 12.5. I can't bloody kill the thing. Alright, I'm gonna set it overnight. See what happens. Maybe it will discharge. For some reason at 10 milliamps it really takes a while for it to kick in. There it goes. And we'll see that on there. Alright, this thing's having an absolute conniption trying to do 10 milliamps. As you can see it jumping around. And on here, we can see up here how it's jumping around quite a bit, and then the graph shows that as well. It doesn't know whether to charge or to discharge. Still just discharging. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so it's the 30th at 9:12. That is our ongoing discharge. And here we can see what's happened overnight. She just can't seem to make her mind up as to what she wants to do. So yeah, I just can't seem to bring her voltage down. No matter what I do, the voltage just stays up. Now I'm pretty sure this is just the sulfation, and this little squiggly stuff is also the sulfation, just constantly fighting back and forth with the chemistry. So yeah, I'm not too sure what to do, whether I should just stop it. Like if I stop it, you can see she just jumps back up to 12.3. Give her a couple of minutes, she'll be back up to 12.5. She just doesn't want to go down. Now I have checked, and this battery here is now back up to 14.4 volts. So I can probably do another discharge. This one's still sitting at 13.3, so she's really taking a lot to charge. She hasn't reached the 14 volt mark yet, which means she's the one who's packing in the bulk. But yeah, a bit steady, more steady now. It's Saturday, so I've got one more day of charging, and then tomorrow I should be doing a discharge on number 2, but I don't know if I should just chuck this one back on charge, see what I can get out of it tomorrow, and today do a discharge on 1, and then again leave it overnight and see what I can get out of it again, because this is a bit ridiculous at 10 milliamps. It's yeah, what I might do is I'll just add that to, we got an extra 330 out of her, and this is on like day 5. Okay, I will go and do that then.